This video is created so that I can demonstrate how to create a logo or a banner using GIMP. For some of the previous assignments, you have learned how to perform some basic editing functions with GIMP. You've learned how to crop and resize, flip and rotate, optimize your images, and add filters. What I want to show you here is some things that are already set up so that you can create some images with ease. So I'm going to create an image. I'm actually going to go out here to the web and get something I want to add to my let's see what we can find out here. I want to add something to the actual logo that I want to choose, and we'll see how well this goes over. So I like this image, and actually the images you choose, you actually want to make sure that they are not copywritten, because you don't want any issues with that. But I'm just going to find an image. So I'm just going to save this to my desktop. Okay. All right. And now it's prepared to create the actual logo or banner. So I'm going to go to File. May want to click on GIMP first. File, Create Logos. File, Create Logos, and choose any of these. Trial and error, because they don't have a preview, unfortunately, in this version of it. So one that I used in class earlier that I like is Glowing Hot. Type in the text that you want to appear here. This might be your business name, a phrase, whatever it is that you want to see. I'm going to type tipsters for my sample text. Font size is what's the size of the actual text that you just typed. You don't want it small because, again, it's a graphic that's going to be one of the biggest things on your page. So, excuse me, though you don't want it to be extremely large, you definitely don't want it to be small either. Slogan is the text that you, or the font that you want your text to appear in. There's one that I had that I loved earlier, so let's see if I can find that one again. And again, this might be trial and error as well. Like, you find one that you like and that you want to use. We talked about layers and the there it is. I think there it is. Rosewood Standard Bold. Close. When I've chosen the one that I want, it flew behind here. Okay, and then your background color, and this might match up to HTML hexadecimal code for your page that you've created, or you might want it to be a different color. But if you're trying to do color matching, the HTML notation here would color match with the colors you've chosen for your page. I'm going to keep it at black. So I'm going to press OK to have your actual graphic rendered, and that's what I have. Over here's your layers panel, and this is stacking. So if I turn off a layer, part of that image disappears. If I click this one, this is my background color, so I can essentially make it turn it off and then add another background if I wanted to. So I'm going to turn mine off. Okay, and then I saved the kids jumping picture. I don't know if that saved the way I needed it to. So let's go back again. Let's resave the image. Call it kids. Let's see if it's saved. Did it? Okay, there it is. So I'm going to drag this onto my canvas of GIMP, and then it appears in the back, right? But notice again in my layers, I have to be very selective about what I have appearing first, last, how it's stacked, because when you drag it, that's the order that it appears in. Okay? So it might be a good idea, it might not be a good idea. I want to add my black back. I'm going to use my move tool. I can move my kids where I want them to go. move the wrong layer. That's actually good for you to see. And make sure you choose the right layer and move just that part of the image. Okay, so that's probably not the best one that I could have. So let's use this as an example. I don't want this anymore, I can turn it off. If I say maybe I want to come back to this later, let's try something else that I might like. I can turn off my background. Again. So, and then I can scale it if I want to. Drag it all the way out. Drag the image all the way up. So I'm trying to keep it on the size of the canvas. Okay, and then I hit scale. So now that's the back of my image. Again, this is not the best one either. But it just gives you an idea of how you can change up and try a bunch of different things. I don't like this one, I can turn that off and I can just kind of try to get an idea of which ones work best. Okay, or which ones I like better. I can click back and forth. Clicking the eyeball because it turns off the layer. Also, the other thing I showed them was using brush tools. They have these cool filters down here. One I like is the actual tree. So mine says tipster. And I did have it where it was like tipster summers. So I went to change the size of this brush. And I have it showing up on the bottom like little trees. Okay, so let's add a brush stroke. You can add whatever effect you want. Make it your own image. But when you're done, another thing I want to show you before I actually stop. So let's say I didn't want this. I'm like, I still don't like the way that looks. I can change my color. I should be able to click and add color here, but it's not working. But usually you can click and fill your, this is why I can't, because I'm on the wrong layer. Learning, click on the background, and then I can change the color of that layer. If I want it to be like a little sky blue, okay, and then I want to add my brush again, and then a little sunshine or whatever, I could do that. If I wanted to be Duke blue, I could do that. Tipsters and add Duke University tip program. That could be my logo. Okay, so just play around with it, try some things. They have all kinds of logos. Like another one that I think I've used before is Alien Glow, which I think appears in some, well, we know it appears in green, but it kind of glows like the tipster one. Okay, so that's another one. And then you could do the same exact thing. Change, before we got to this part, we would have wanted to select the font that we wanted, but if you don't like that background, you can certainly take the background off. And then I would just save it, export as, choose where you want to save it, give it a name. I'm going to call it Alien Logo. Should have been in all lowercase, but it doesn't matter for the name. And then choose where I want to save it. I want to say desktop. I can export choosing JPEG, GIF, which supports transparency. So does Ping. Pings are higher qualities, of higher quality than the GIF. So export. Keep all my defaults the same. Export, and then when you're done, voila, you have an image that can be placed on your web page. Okay, hopefully this helps you with understanding how to develop your own logos or banners using this free open source program to do some unique designs for your projects.